Well, hey, we were the number one show for 5 people.
I want to know who those people are.
I know, because it's not me. It was number 3 for me, I think, 3 or 4. And it wasn't my wife. So so it's 5 other people. And you don't use Spotify, so
no, I don't.
Yeah. And it was, like I said, I think it was like 19 people had us in their top 10. So 2 of those are me and my wife, but 17 other people.
That's weird. I wonder if like Travis or Isaiah maybe still listen periodically.
Maybe.
Or Andy, maybe. Andy might be one.
Yeah, that's true. Like
I think he watches on YouTube.
Like, do any of our friends? We're like trying to think of like who.
No, yeah. I really don't. Chris, maybe if it's like a movie that he's seen, Chris might be a listener.
Yeah, or people that when they're on an episode, people will probably tune in for those ones or whatever. But yeah.
I mean, our listenership might be so low that like listening to more than 3 episodes will shoot you to the top of like average listeners. So it could be.
No, that means that's their number one show. Like they listen to our show more than any other podcast. And maybe they don't listen to any other podcasts. Maybe that's why. It could be that.
Unfortunately, Apple splits it up. They have a separate app for music and podcasts, and they don't have a
rap.
There's no
thing.
But also, I listen to a lot of my shows like from Patreon bonus episode feeds.
Oh, so it wouldn't even be.
I don't think it would even get like caught in that.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, how do we track how many Patreon listeners we have for our episodes? Hey, you know what? Hey, if you're listening and you are one of those number one fans, you should let us know if that was you, or even if we were in like your top 5 or whatever. But especially if you're the number one,
start commenting on episodes. I know Spotify has that ability to like comment on stuff. You should start commenting on stuff.
I did check back on the last few episodes recently. I was like, just curious. I don't know if you like get a notification or if there's a way to tell as a show if you host a show like other than just going to the episodes themselves. But yeah, I mean, legit, it's cool. However that worked out, that we ended up being in your thing. That's still cool. Yeah, welcome back, ladies and gents, to another episode of ThereWillBeDuds. This is episode 198, and I am your co-host, TJ, and with me as always,
I am Nick.
And as sometimes it is Christmas time, still Christmas time. Technically, a Christmas episode where we met up in person and we did the Christmas movie or whatever was last one. But this episode is coming out, I think, on Christmas Eve. So this is kind of should more be our Christmas episode, but I guess we already blew our
so.
We already blew our load with the last one, so but yeah, we did do more Christmas movies, if you didn't see the title. Last week we did Black Christmas from 1974, directed by Bob Clark. This week we did 2 movies, the first of which being Black Christmas from 2006, directed by Glenn Morgan. It is a remake of the original, similar idea, where it's some sorority girls over Christmas break staying at their sorority house, and they are picked off by a killer hiding in their house, whereas in the original one it was like an unknown assailant who you never saw and you didn't know anything about him. This is they took the exact opposite approach. They were like, they saw the original movie and they were like, oh man, that's so cool how mysterious Billy is and how you don't know anything about him. That makes him so much scarier. It's like, your mind fills in the blanks. You don't know what's going on. It makes the monster so much scarier. So let's do the exact opposite of that and give our bad guy the most backstory any character has ever had in any story ever. It's like it's near.
It's comical.
I was getting like Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 vibes with like how much, whereas that is like literally cutting back to the first movie. This is not doing that, but still it's like so much of this movie is just Billy's backstory.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not only like, you know, which they love to do with like, especially from around this time, like they give in like the Nightmare on Elm Street remake from this time, they gave, I mean, he had a backstory. Freddy had a generally, like you hear about his backstory, but like they show like the flashback in the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, or like the Rob Zombie Halloweens, or Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Leatherface has more of like a you get more insight into his character or whatever. And it's like they're just movie monsters. Just let them be monsters.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like did you? There's a famous case of this. Did we talk about this? Have you read like Red Dragon and The Silence of the Lambs, like the books? Yeah. I think that was another thing where
I read all 4. Yeah, I've read all the Hannibal books.
Well, I think so. I think Red Dragon and The Silence of the Lambs were like mega hits. I mean, obviously they both spawned movies. Silence of the Lambs won Best Picture. I think I read somewhere that basically the studios wanted Thomas Harris to like write more. They wanted him to write like, what was it, Hannibal and then Hannibal Rising were like the other 2 books that he made. And they were basically like, they were books that like the publishers, and they're like, no. Hannibal Lecter's hot. The late great Hannibal Lecter. He's hot. Everybody loves him. But I think even Thomas Harris has been like, yeah, those books are like, he's going through the motions, because it's just like they
especially
want to print,
Rising.
They want to print money.
Yeah.
So they're like, we got what's his deal, huh? What's his backstory?
Yeah.
But there's this thing where I don't know, they can't leave these like IPs alone. And now everything needs to have its own origin story that is like very painstakingly detailed. No thing is left to mystery whatsoever. And
which I find so annoying.
It's so egregious in this movie where they're also like doing that thing where they keep like referencing all of like the iconic things from the original Black Christmas. Like most of the time you see Billy, it is only like his eye looking through like a hole in the floorboard, or like there's like that scene where it's like the posters like hanging on the wall and one of the like thumbtacks like pops out. And then you see Billy look through it. And then his whole method of like killing people is like ripping their eyes out and eating them. It's like, we get it. We
Eyeballs.
Get it. The iconic, like the poster of the movie, and the only thing you ever see of Billy in the 1974 one is his eyeball. So now it's like, it's an eyeball extravaganza in this movie. And it's so stupid.
Yeah.
That in the bag. Like, it's so funny that like he goes through the process of putting the bags over their heads, and then he stabs them in the head and kills them instantly. Like the whole horror of that, the whole horror of like is it her name's Claire in the 74 one, right? That's
Claire.
The whole horror of that is that like she probably slowly suffocated. Because it's like sucked into her mouth. That's like the iconic shot of that movie.
Yeah.
And in this movie, it's like they bag him just so you can be like, I remember that. But then he like stabs him and kills him instantly. So it's just like, why even go through the process of bagging them at all, if not just to reference the original movie?
Yeah, and that's what it is. It's the most like baseline simplistic like just I don't even know how to like explain it, how like simple all of the things that it takes from the original are, and like just how it leaves out any sort of character that was in it. It's literally just, yeah, like, oh, you see his eyes, and like you said, like, yeah, of course he loves eyeballs, I guess. And it's like again with that backstory, it's so ridiculously like thorough in explaining every single thing. Like I was referencing those other ones, like Nightmare on Elm Street, where it's like, okay, do we have to get a flashback of Freddy, like seeing how he became like Freddy Krueger, the dream monster? But it's just like a few minutes at the beginning of the movie, and it's like a quick, like, okay, all right, it's dumb that we showed that, but that's it. But this, it's like, it's got to be a half an hour of this very short movie. At least it's got to be a half an hour showing like in great detail how, okay, we get it. He had yellow skin for some reason, and his mom
was like, why is he jaundiced?
Hated him, and and didn't and like his dad is killed because the guy like suffocates him with a bag too. It's like, oh, that's what, because he has to have a reason for suffocating. He can't just. It's not you like the guy in the original one. He couldn't have just suffocated her with a bag because that's what was nearby, and he just wanted to kill her because he's like a psychopath. No, right. He had to have a reason for choosing that method of killing. So here's it. Oh, he's seeing it as a child. He's seeing his dad get killed by it. But then me being like snarky about it, like I was like, oh, well, then why did that guy kill his dad with a bag? What's the origin of that? Why did he do that?
That would be such a funny like short video idea, like making fun of that idea where every single thing that every character does has to be explained by a flashback, but then it's like the little kid seeing that happen or whatever, and then it's like it happens to another character, and then we go and it's like flashback Inception where we just go and it's like we end up in like 1732. it's like the same thing happening over and over again, and then it's like you go all the way till everyone's like protozoa. Like they're just little blobs on like a slide under a microscope.
It makes me think of like just the need to like explain or like dive into like every facet of Billy. It makes me think of like a lot of like nerd culture fandoms like having to explain everything, and there has to be a reason and blah 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 for everything. Namely, maybe the biggest culprit being like Star Wars. Star Wars are like comic books, movies or comics in general. To where the Star Wars holiday special that I watched the other day, there's a scene where you're at the cantina from the first movie, and they're kind of like going around to all the different tables. You're seeing a bunch of the different patrons, and there's this one that's just a big rat. It's just a giant rat, and we saw it instantly, and like Kalia was like in love, and I was like, that is really cute. It's like one of the cutest things. Like I would say it might top Baby Yoda for like Star Wars cuteness, things. But I was like, that has to, like, it's just a rat. This is clearly just like a throwaway, and it was just in this one scene. It's not like it had any lines or anything. It was just kind of there. But I was like, but because it's Star Wars, I know that there's a fucking Wikipedia page for this thing, and there was. It had a name, it had a species, and I went to the species, and it was like biology and appearance of this species, which is called like tintinas or something, and it was like they have large rodent-like teeth, gray hair, and round ears. And you just read this like paragraph of description, and it's just, okay, so they're rats. They're just big rats. You're just describing a rat. But because it's Star Wars, they gotta have a backstory, and they gotta have lore.
It must be cataloged. Yeah.
Yeah. When I read that, I read like a different article that said that was literally included. Like a lot of the guys in the cantina in that were included as they were basically leftover props. So that was a leftover prop from a different movie that Rick Baker worked on called the Food of the Gods, which had like a giant rat going around like eating people or whatever. So it literally like that's like the perfect example of this. Have you heard? Are you familiar with glup shitto?
Yes,
That
yes.
term. Yeah, that's like exactly what that is. Like they made it out of convenience because they needed to fill this scene with alien monster things. So he's like, hey, I got these props and stuff from this other movie. Let me bring them in here. And they just put him in the background and probably didn't think twice about it. They're just like, hey, the shot looks good, right? But then, no. They must all have a reason for being there. And that is a long way of saying that is what this movie does with the character of Billy.
Why are you bothering putting with those cookies? Santa ain't coming to see you. Russians shot his sleigh down. Santa Claus is dead.
There weren't like exact analogs of the characters from the old one, right? No, not really.
Mrs.
But
Mac.
they were kind of generally. Oh yeah, Mrs. Mac, who is
played
Martin.
by
Yeah.
So like I think she's the only person from the original
only
movie.
like carryover. I think so.
Yeah.
Who knows? Billy could be the same actor. I don't know.
That's true. Bob Clark produced this movie.
Oh, okay.
I saw his name show
That
up
doesn't
at the
really
end
mean
credits.
anything, but
Well, apparently, so okay, I did do some like reading on
okay.
the IMDb trivia, and apparently Bob Clark and Glenn Morgan were like fighting with Bob and Harvey Weinstein about this movie. Go figure.
Yeah.
But apparently, I think Bob and Harvey wanted it to be like infinitely more gory and like grotesque and gross. Because I think maybe this is like what, 2006? Yeah. Maybe it was around the time that like all those other like slasher horror movies were getting like modern equivalents.
Yeah. Mm.
So it's like, yeah, you got your Texas Chainsaw, you got your Dawn of the Dead, etc.
Friday
like
the 13th.
Friday the 13th,
Dawn of the Dead,
Halloween. And so they're probably like, no, we got to update this. Because the original Black Christmas is not that like gory, I guess.
Right, yeah.
A lot of it's like very implied violence. Like you'll see a hand go up and stab, and like maybe you'll see some blood splatter on the wall, but you never actually see. And then it's this one, they're like, no. Like literally, I'm reading this bit here, and it said, okay, Glenn Morgan has reportedly disowned this film. In response to the question on whether or not he was happy with the results, Morgan said, "No way, and it's schizophrenic because Bob Weinstein came in and urinated on it. Really, there was a time where torture porn was the hot thing. You know, I became friends with Bob Clark. You can throw that movie into one of your first questions. I loved that movie and also A Christmas Story, and I learned a lot from Bob and had his blessing that we were trying to make a version that he didn't get to deal with the background of the killers and stuff like that. So I guess maybe Bob Clark was kind of like, oh, we need to expand on the lore of Billy, whatever. You know, it's his property. I guess he can do do with it whatever he wants." Yeah. When Bob Weinstein came in and saw that, he was like, "We need to drag Michelle Trachtenberg down the hall by her eyes." Like that's like the level of violence that they wanted. Like just pulling her. Ugh. Yeah.
Choice
So
of words.
it does sound like there was some like studio meddling that kind of came in, and like they tried to put their thumb on the scale a little bit, and like, no, you need to make this movie this type of way. Because it's like, yeah, all those other classic series were getting reboots, but this is also 2 years after Saw, and probably Saw 2 or 3. Because like once the first Saw was a hit, they started like pumping those out, and they got increasingly gruesome and violent. And so, yeah, they just kind of came in and said, no, you need to start like ripping everybody's getting their eyeballs ripped out.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. This is definitely the most violent of the Black Christmases. I don't know I don't know. I mean, it's such a different movie in general to where it's like it doesn't feel as out of place as like, you know, the first one kind of be like withholding it. It's like, yeah, okay, you know, it feels more intentional here. It's not like it like ruins it for me. There's other stuff that I think is like worse.
Yeah,
than,
no, exactly.
You know,
it's
so.
like I think both things could be true. I think like yes, Bob and Harvey Weinstein like meddled in like the production of this movie and probably made it worse. But also, I think like the movie is fundamentally flawed by trying to expand on the character of Billy, that like regardless of if the Weinsteins like messed with it, I don't think the result would have been all that much different.
Yeah. So you say that go ahead.
I was just gonna say, because it's like it's very messy. Like you get Billy's shit, but also, can you remember the name of any of like the female leads? Is there
Mrs.
like
Mac?
a final girl? Mrs. Mac? Is there like a final girl? Like I really don't feel there is like a last woman alive.
Yeah.
That's true. But there's no one character that is like the Olivia Hussey. None of the characters really have anything going on other than like remember who they were from the original. Like there's the one girl that's like is drunk. She's like a drinker
girl, yeah.
and she's like sarcastic and she dies in a similar way that the one in the 74 one did. But there's no, and then like one of the other characters has like a boyfriend, but there's like no
I think
like
that's
interpersonal conflict with any of them.
No, there's like a little bit of like cattiness with like the drunk one and some of the other ones. That's about it. There's the one girl that shows up for like one scene and she's like creepy. You know, she's like comes down the stairs and she has like the glasses and there's like I don't know, it's like everybody's like quiet and she's creepy for some reason.
Merry Christmas, Heather. Merry Christmas, everyone.
The way that the scene is done is supposed to make you think that because it's in between the things, right? But the characters also are like weirded out by her. And I'm like, they have no reason to. To them, she's just another sorority sister. Maybe she's like nerdy or she's like the quiet one or whatever. But they're acting kind of like weirded out in the same way that the audience is. And that makes no sense. And that's what I was going to ask. So you said that it seems like at least from what you're reading, that like they had intended to like flesh out his backstory. Like Bob Clark was like into that, or
I think that was the whole idea of the movie. So yes, the Weinsteins did come in and like make it more violent and like grotesque. But I think the original intent of the movie was to like flesh out the Billy character's background.
Okay. So then yeah, if that's them, that's like one of the just most confusing like structures ever is that like they go into all this backstory and you know you get so much detail over who he is and how he's brought up and blah 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 blah. And he's been in the asylum and like you saw, I guess at the beginning it was the one who was in the psych ward. Was that was Billy or was that Agnes?
Yes, that was Billy, I believe.
Okay, that was Billy. Okay. But then like the stuff that isn't the flashback, it like watching it, I noted like I totally thought that the flashback stuff was done after the fact. Like they shot that last because the studio was like, no, you need to do this. Because it felt like they had shot and written the entire rest of the movie and then later added in the backstory. Because they're like telling you exactly who he is. And then they're still trying to do like the red herring stuff with like Eve or with the one girl's
Kyle.
like boyfriend. Yeah, they try to make him kind of like he's like a little hostile or whatever. He's kind of like the Kirdola character, sort of.
Yeah. There's like a few jump scares with him where like it's like there's someone outside the door and then it's him and they're like, oh my God, Kyle.
Yeah. But like we already know that it's not these people because you showed us. So why are you presenting us with all these red herrings when we've already seen the fucking salmon or whatever? I don't know how to finish that metaphor. But you've already shown it to us. There's no mystery. And then there isn't. There is absolutely no mystery. None of them are. It's just it's who they said it was. It's a guy that escaped the insane asylum, and then his daughter or whatever, his daughter, sister,
daughter.
And then they come in, they have their little fight at the end, and it happens. Like, so then it's like, what's the point?
Maybe
devoid of the original movie. You're watching this movie by itself, then like thinking, what is the point of the backstory? Why show this stuff? Except for context for like, oh, I've seen the original one and now I want to see Billy's backstory. But you have to also think movies have to work on their own. So on its own, this movie doesn't work.
So the fundamental question is, who is this for? It's nobody, really. Because if you're going into it just like, oh, this is a new horror movie, you're probably confused because you're like, I feel like there's like, because it would be like watching something that's like, I don't know, like this movie is so clearly referencing other material that I would be watching this and I'm like, I don't understand. This movie keeps like doing certain things to like signal to me that I should know what it is, but I don't know what it is. Like if you haven't, being a person who's like never seen the original, right? Like that's like the audience member that I'm trying to be right now. Yeah, the movie's constantly just like showing you certain things, like camera lingering on certain things. And it's just like, I feel like I should know what this is, but I don't know what it is because the movie only operates under the assumption that you've seen the original. But then it's like, if you've seen the original, presumably you like it. And then the movie just desecrates all of that shit to like, it's like, hey, how do we take all of the stuff that you liked about that one? We're going to take the wrong lesson from that movie and do the exact opposite and just show everything. Yeah. And like, I think maybe the mystery is who is doing the initial murders, because I do think that there's like a murder that happens while Billy is still in his cell. Okay. So I think maybe that could be like a central mystery. Sure. Because that's setting up the reveal in the attic when they're like, oh, Billy, I knew it was you. And then she's like, no, it isn't, Agnes. And then she's like, ah. Yeah. And then, because then she like goes to stab her eyeball and it's like the fake prosthetic eye. Oh, that's right. Yeah. And they set up that was, that she had the fake eye before. Yeah. When it got to that point, I was like, that kind of works because like I feel like you had seen Billy with like he has like kind of shorter brown hair and then Agnes has long blonde hair. And I feel like you had seen both of them up to that point. And I'm like thinking like, did they not like think anybody would notice? Yeah. That they look different, or were they counting on that and were like, hoping that it would like intentionally confuse people, like, oh, I thought he looked like that before. Why does he have this kind of hair? Is he wearing a wig now? Yeah. Or you could think what I thought, like, which is am I giving them too much credit? I don't know. I was like, is Billy trans? I legitimately was like wondering if that was like an angle that they would go with it, that like Billy and Agnes are like the same person. And, like, it's like a Silence of the Lambs, Buffalo Bill kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah. But I like that. Like why would Agnes end up the same way as him? Like he didn't raise her, right? Like he killed his mom and the boyfriend, and then he was locked up. She ostensibly, it's just the basic horror movie writing. It's like, oh, something traumatizing happened to her when she was a kid or a baby. Was she still an infant then? I'm not exactly sure. She's Ricky from Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2. Actually, yeah. It's exactly that. It's like, oh, and then they just snapped. Yeah. That's all the explanation that you need to know. That's what this movie is missing. It is missing a garbage day. It
Yeah.
needs that.
I did appreciate how like all in on the Christmas, just everything this movie was. Like this was just like everything in this movie was about Christmas. There was there were Christmas lights in every single shot in this movie.
Everyone's ringtone was a Christmas song.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. Everybody had like Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy or whatever, and I think doesn't is it Agnes that dies at the end? Don't they fall onto a Christmas tree or something?
Oh, it's Billy.
It's Billy.
Yeah, Agnes gets like fried with the
Oh, that's right, the defib.
Yes.
Yeah, and then he gets pushed off the balcony or whatever, and I think he lands on a Christmas tree. I think he gets speared by one. It's like, yeah.
Yes.
So, like again, trying to give it props in some areas, like that's like really cheeseball and corny. I'm like, hey, at least it lives up to that. I can't remember if this is with his mom. I think it is. After Billy kills his mom and the boyfriend, he like takes the Christmas cookie like outline things and like presses it to their skin and like eats like the gingerbread man shaped like pieces of their skin. And
Yeah.
that's like some of that. I'm like, okay, this is the kind of like corny, silly horror stuff that I like.
Yeah, if it wasn't played so straight.
Yeah, it needs to lean in just a little more to that. Yeah.
Yeah, it needs to be like, you need to have like at least like 10% like Freddy Krueger in you. Like, kind of like, calling everybody a bitch. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You need that kind of shit. Because the whole time, the only dialogue was, and I hate that they kept hammering this in, was like, you're my family now. Because like at the beginning, it's like Kyle and what's her face are like in the car. He basically is just like, it's like, oh, I want you to move in with me. And then he says like, he's like, oh, I love you. Like, you're my family now. And then for whatever reason, that shit becomes like the theme that they just hammer over and over and over throughout the entire thing.
Yeah.
And like, even when it doesn't make sense, but it's just like, it's literally reminding the audience that it's a thing that they've heard before.
Yep.
Did you catch any of the Easter eggs?
Like meaning like reference regarding to the first one, or just like Easter eggs?
Not even the first, just like more like general Easter eggs. The sanitarium was named Clark Sanitarium, like Bob Clark.
Oh, okay.
And I think one of the streets, like when they call the cops, or is that the 2019 one? You know what? That might be the 2019 one. Because I think one of the street is like 1974 Elm Street or something like that.
That's the yep. I did notice that. But in the flashback, when Billy's born in 1974 in this one.
Oh,
so there's that. Yeah.
Also, blink and you miss it. The leg lamp from I
did see that. Yeah, that's so weird. But oh my god, I didn't even think of that being a Bob. It's that movie. It's every time I think about that he also did that movie.
Yeah.
So I was like, when I saw this, I was like, oh, there's the leg lamp for some reason. But I'm like, oh yeah, because he did that movie too.
Mm-hmm.
It's so strange.
Yeah. I also saw other connections that people made because apparently the director did he was like an executive producer on a bunch of X-Files episodes.
Oh, nice.
And I think he worked on, I think there was one where like a character is like yellow or jaundiced. And then the other big episode that Glenn Morgan worked on was Home, which is like, I think in season 3 or 4, which is like the super incest inbred one.
Yeah.
And so people were like making connections of like, okay, the X-Files guy is like, he's playing what he knows, and this is what he knows.
Yeah. I did just see, I was looking at his thing on IMDb. I want to see if that girl is who I think it is. It is. Okay. So he's a producer for the first and third Final Destination movies. And Mary Elizabeth Winstead is the lead in the third one. And then the sister, the older woman who shows up in this,
yes,
she's the teacher in the first one. I just double checked to make sure that was right, but when she showed up, I was like, I'm pretty sure that's her from Final Destination, and it is.
Yeah, apparently Amanda Seyfried auditioned for this movie, but they didn't cast her because they didn't want two Mean Girls actresses in it. So,
oh, that's funny. Yeah, so that's so funny. Agnes is supposed to be 22,
and looks like a 45-year-old man.
Yeah, yeah. Basically like Barbarian before Barbarian.
Yeah, for real. Man, I don't know if I have. I'm trying to look through my other notes.
Covered all my notes. Talking about how this thing like misses the mark. It's not like majorly like affecting the story as much, but just another example of like, did these? I mean, they had to, like you said, like Bob Clark was like involved, but it's like, what are they adapting here? Because they bring back Mrs. Mack, and it's a character from the first one. Oh, and that's a nice little like tie or whatever.
Yeah.
It's Andrea Martin, but she's like the exact opposite character. Like Mrs. Mack is memorable because she's hiding booze in every corner of the house and like, covering for her girls when her Snoopy father shows up and is being all judgy. In this, she's like, language, watch your language, girls. Oh, we gotta celebrate Christmas. Oh, make sure you put a present under the tree for Billy. It's tradition in our house. Which, she's
you get a little bit of the old Mrs. Mack when she's going to like wipe off the windshield, and she's like, these spoiled little bitches. Oh, they've never, because like she shows her like the brush, and the one girl's like, what's that? And then she gets out of the car and she's like, oh, these spoiled little bitches have never even brushed off snow off their own car because they're so rich and shitty.
Yeah. That's the one part. And then she just explodes in the car. I'm not exactly sure what was supposed to happen there.
I don't know. I think it's supposed to be implied that Billy was like also in the car somehow, but he's just omnipresent, which is, again, just like doesn't. And it's like, I will suspend disbelief for like horror movies where it's like that the whole thing is just like you think a character's safe and then he shows up behind you and gets you or whatever. But in this, it's like he's moving from like the attic to the car to this place to that place. It's like it is like, no, this doesn't make sense at all. And then Mrs. Mack's death is so nuts because she's the one. She like looks up and the icicle.
Yeah,
the icicle falls from like the thing in the house with enough force apparently to pierce through her eye and pop out the other side.
Yeah,
it's like Billy didn't even kill her; it just happened on accident,
and it still went through her eye. Like,
classic.
Went through the eyeball. Yeah, yeah. It's like there's I used the word like character before when like, and it's so funny that like, again, you don't even really see Billy in the first one, but he's so much more of a presence. Whereas this one, you are told in great detail his backstory, and he's so like less memorable. Or like the phone calls in this feel like a fucking afterthought because again, we get so much backstory that like when he calls, you're like, well, I know what this is. It's this crazy guy. It's like any sort of like fear is taken away from it by the amount of that like you see him, whereas like you get the calls in the first one and it's really fucking creepy, like how he sounds, and like you don't know who it is, you don't know why they're doing it or whatever. In this, you're told, like, why, like the characters don't know, but so it's not scary. And and even like the attic, like I kind of forgot that like the attic was even like a thing in this one. And then it's like, it feels like it's only like at the end. Whereas in the first one, you cut back to the attic and you see Claire in the chair like multiple times. You're like always like thinking about like that being there, like that threat being there. Whereas in this, it's like, well, Billy's just like everywhere. He doesn't have like a spot. So there's no sort of threat of like, you know, anytime somebody like Mrs. Mack goes into the attic in the first one to look for the cat, I think, and you're like, oh shit, that's where Billy is. So you're kind of waiting for that. In this, it doesn't matter. So it's just like, it takes away any tension from anywhere because it's like, yeah, the rules don't matter. He could be anywhere. Yeah. Anything can happen.
Yeah. And it's also like, in the original Black Christmas, is he even given a name? Is his name?
No, you don't know. I don't know if he's if like in the credits he's Billy, but no, nobody. You just hear him say Billy, but he says like a bunch of shit, so you don't know.
I always took that as he's like, I don't know if unreliable narrator is the right way to describe it, but I just assumed it was like he was a crazy guy making shit up. It's like Billy, Agnes, they're just like characters that he's, you know, it's like it could be real, it could not be real, but no one knows because he's like a crazy psychopath. You know, it's kind of like The Dark Knight, where like the Joker tells 3 different stories about like, my mom was this and my dad was like that.
Yeah,
he tells
That's
3 different versions,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't know which one is real because he tells 3 different ones like so convincingly. So it's like you listen to like the phone calls. And, you know, for all we know, it could be like characters he saw on TV one time. And it's just like he just remembered those names, Billy and Agnes. But now it's like, no, his name is Billy and Agnes is his sister. But actually, like his mom sexually assaulted him. So now his sister is also like Agnes is actually his daughter, but he's also her brother. Mm-hmm. And it's just like the original movie, again, just like those were just names that he said. Who knows why? It's never like explained. And that's what makes it creepy.
Yeah. I checked and he does not have a name. He's Nick Mancuso, who is the body, is credited as the Prowler / phone voice. So
yeah.
And Bob Clark is one of the voices on the phone, too. So there's 3 different people credited as phone voice. And then, he's the Prowler. So it's kind of like although Michael Myers does. I don't know. Does he have a name in the first one? Yeah, I think he does. But he's, you know, the Shape. He's not credited as. Yeah. So, yeah, he's not. I like that. I'm glad that there was part of me that was like, oh, maybe they do just credit him as Billy just because. But no. It's just, yeah. And I like that. It's like the lack of like what you know adds so much to that first movie. Like, you know, the fact that they don't find the bodies upstairs, that they don't find him, they don't kill him, they don't solve anything, and that makes that ending so like terrifying. You know, it continues the terror. And again, this does the exact opposite. It tells you everything. They find all the bodies. They, you know.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a way that they could have done this. And I almost feel like they needed to do like the 2011 The Thing, where I don't know, I haven't seen it, but I feel like
I like it.
Is it generally known that it's a prequel, or was that like not revealed until the end of the movie? Because I know the end of that movie is
remember.
I think the end of that movie is where the Thing picks up. It's
you could
like
literally
the Swedish guys chasing after the dog in the snow.
You could literally like splice the movies together. I always thought that'd be cool to do, to like edit the 2 movies together there.
Yeah, like do like a little double feature or something, or just like that scene, see how seamless you can get it to go.
Yeah.
I think, you know, pitching like a Black Christmas like reboot, like backstory, if you want to do a backstory, like, I don't know, maybe you could have like a kid that's going to college, and he's going to the same college as like all these sorority girls, and the sorority girls are doing like their own thing. And you kind of have to like toe the line between like making something fresh and new while also like adhering to like the original.
Mm-hmm.
But but I don't know, because then it wouldn't be modern. It would still be in the 70s. Because like what I was thinking is like kind of how The Thing goes into
Oh,
The Thing. The 2006 Black Christmas could end with that POV shot
mm-hmm.
of the prowler approaching the house and then climbing up into the attic. So it's like you could almost like, oh, this happens before the events
Mm-hmm.
of Black Christmas or something like that.
Yeah. It's funny
'Cause then
because
it's
Mary
like-
Elizabeth Winstead is in that too. She's in The Thing.
Oh shit, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Man, she's in a lot of she's like one of those actresses that I'm like, she's good, right? But then she's just like in some real doo-doo caca.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
Same with like
Well, no,
Imogen
I mean, like I
Poots in the
said,
next
this-
one. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it happens. I don't know. Not every actor is as selective as like
Yeah.
Leo or Daniel Day or whatever.
Yeah.
So, it's inevitable that you're going to be in some clunkers.
But it's like, but I also kind of like the idea of like setting Black Christmas in a modern sense, because when like the phone call happens, I feel like they answered the question, well, how would Black Christmas work in like modern times? Because she's like, oh, just star 69 the number. And it's like, oh yeah, that's like that. Because it's like you watch movies back then and you're like, how would any of this work if like there were cell phones,
Yeah.
It's like so many things, so many of those problems would be solved by someone just having a phone in their pocket where they could just like call 911 or like take
Yeah.
a picture of something, or like, I can look at where my friend is on like their little tracking app and I can just see
Yeah,
where all
yeah.
my friends are, that kind of thing. So it's like
Yeah.
modern technology kind of solves those problems. So they do sort of address that. Like, oh yeah, it's like caller ID, like modern inventions. Because in the 74 one, it's all just like not track phones, rotary phones,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's like, the tech is more old school.
Right. Yeah.
Do we want to rate this one and then move on to the next one, or do we want to wait until the end?
We can just rate them separate. Yeah. We
Okay.
can rate them now.
Okay.
Yeah, not good. Especially compared to the first. If we're doing, we're just doing dud spud for both of these.
That's what I figured.
Yeah, I would. Watching it, I was kind of thinking like a spudly dud, but like it being a couple days out now, I'm just more like there was no way it was going to be a spud. But there was like, like I said, I kind of like the over the top gore. I was liking how into the Christmassy stuff it was, but it's also just very frustrating and stupid.
Yeah.
So I mean, either way, it's a dud.
Yeah.
Not but I don't know. There's a little bit of fun to be had, and I will say, since you brought this up watching the first one, that you were like, you had the Christmas lights up and all that like I now have my decorations up and whatnot. So I did watch this one in that setting, and I think that did kind of help.
Yeah.
It is kind of fun when you're. Like I also have Christmas lights up, and
Yeah. It sets the mood a little bit.
Yeah. In the proper setting, you could maybe have some fun with some friends, but I'd say generally, probably not.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm right there with you. Mostly dud. I mean, yeah, I did the Christmas aesthetic was nice, and the fact that even like the insane asylum had like tinsel and lights and like all of that going on. They allowed Billy for whatever reason to like have Christmas lights in his cell. I think in the establishing shot of the asylum, his room is the only one that has like lights around it. So it's like even from the outside you can see his room. So that stuff was fun, like the production value. I guess the house looked pretty good. Like a lot of that's like a lot of stuff on the periphery like looked okay. It seemed to be shot like fairly competently. But yeah, all the characters are very blah, and all the stuff that like tried to remind you of the old movie just made me want to watch the old movie even more. I guess maybe some of the kills are kind of funny. Like you can kind of laugh at them. They're over the top. Watching Mrs. Mac get like gored through the head by like an icicle is pretty funny, I guess. But yeah, overall, just kind of a dud.
Yeah. And speaking of, we watched another movie this week. This movie is called Black Christmas. It's from 2019. It's directed by Sofia Takal. It is a what does Spike Lee say? A reimagining, I think. That's what he calls his Old Boy remake, is a reimagining of the 1974 classic. I'm gonna cut that.
Don't cut it. You won't.
Of the original, this 1974 original, and I use that term as opposed to remake like the 2006 one because this is Black Christmas almost in name only in my eyes. It is very different. It just contains, it's a horror movie set at Christmas, and it's the center characters are sorority girls at a sorority house. That's more or less your connection with the original, or
there's a cat
again with either of the. Yeah, Claude becomes Claudette. They even they have to gender swap the cat because this is a feminist movie, and holy shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Do you remember 2019? Do you remember pre-COVID?
I hate women now.
Dude, I read your Letterboxd review before I started watching it, and your Letterboxd review was just like, this movie made me a misogynist. And I was like, hell yeah, I'm so excited to watch this now. Because I had no idea that was the angle that this movie took. I really didn't know anything about it. I think I knew that it wasn't like an exact remake, but I did not realize that they tried to make like Booksmart a Black Christmas movie. Because like that's what it reminded me of. Like all we were missing was like one of these girls driving around with like Hillary, I'm still with her stickers on like the bumper of their cars.
Yeah. Right.
We do get the unicorn. We get one callback. There is like one scene where you see the glass unicorn, but it's like it's never used as like
right. Well, no, because why would it be? It is like, oh my god, you're going the opposite way with the last one, where like I feel like you see until the ending where there's like the fight, and I guess you see some people die. But, like, you don't see, like, any fucking kills. You see people get kind of, like, knocked out, and then they're, like, killed off screen or whatever. But you'd be like, oh, the first one, you don't see kills in that. But it's, like, it's not the same. It's not the same.
The first one does kills like Psycho, where you see bits and pieces, but it makes you put it together in your mind. And that's the part that's scary, is, like, you imagining how you imagine it happening to you through like the montage of images that you see. This, it's like jump scare.
Yeah.
Did they do an Exorcist 3 ripoff kill?
I haven't seen that. I know like the big scene, and or like the
where it's like someone walking down a hallway, and then one of the kills.
I know the one you're talking about. Yeah,
it's like a girl walking, and then I think it's when they do the Claudette scene with the cat.
Yeah,
where they kind of reference the OG one, where in the first one, I keep calling him Billy. I guess I'll call him Billy. He's like mimicking the sound of the cat meowing to lure someone up into the attic, and that's how Mrs. Mac dies. In this one, the one girl is like looking for Claudette, and you hear the meowing, and she's like, "Where are you?" Like she's like about to leave for holiday vacation, and then she's like, "Where is this cat?" And then you kind of hear meowing,
Yeah.
and I think it starts out as the cat, but then I think maybe someone else is faking it, and then I think
I don't know.
once she
Well,
finds,
you do see the cat. Like the cat does
Yeah.
pop out. So I
but I
don't know.
think she like goes to walk away once she finds the cat,
Yes.
and it does
Yeah,
like
I know.
one of those quick zoom ins, and he's behind her and like pulls her, and I'm like, oh, they're doing like the famous Exorcist 3 shot.
Okay, yeah, maybe. Yeah, I know. Yeah, so I do know the shot you're talking about, but yeah, maybe
It seemed
Good
like
for them.
at the very least like an homage to that.
that was the Jew. Yeah, that was her word. She said that. So
She did.
I have
That-
so
yep.
much. I have so much hate for this movie. I'm serious. I'm gonna have to bleep out so much shit here. Yeah, this movie feels like a movie written by the Daily Wire to like be like
Yes.
this is what crazy leftist like feminists are. That's what
Every
these characters are
annoying
like.
feminist that you've ever encountered on a college campus,
Yeah.
all of those stereotypes are personified directly into I don't remember her
These
name either. I
characters.
don't remember any of the characters' names. I think Jess.
I do remember you're talking about Chris, like not the main character, but the next main character. She's the one who I wrote down that she, even though I was like, I'm pretty sure she doesn't die from memory, but I said that Chris better die or I'm becoming a misogynist. That's what I wrote down in my notes.
She's the one that's constantly going on about like the white supremacist patriarchy.
Yeah, she's
like
the
all of the
most
buzzwords.
harping on it. Yeah.
Yes.
She's the one who's like talking about all like empowerment and all this stuff. And yet I did note that when they were about to do their show, their like song that they did at the frat house and like the like dresses or whatever, Imogen Poots didn't want to do it because their other friend backed out, and she kind of peer pressured her into it. She was kind of forcing her to do it against her will. And she kind of does that a couple times in this movie where she peer pressures other characters into doing things that she wants them to do.
You used to be a fighter. It's time to be a fighter again. If not for yourself, for your sisters.
I wondered if Carrie Elwes was going to be the bad guy. Because for a second it almost seemed like I don't know. Maybe he wasn't going to be because like the whole he's like teaching what book is he? Oh yeah. Okay. He's teaching from the feminist
Yes. Yeah.
who is a real person, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And her whole deal is that she is like she's a very controversial feminist. She's like a libertarian. Camille Paglia is her name.
Okay.
And she's like a feminist in a lot of other ways, but she also has some like hot takes about like campus sexual assault stuff. And I think she's also like she's like she has some weird hot takes about like age of consent stuff.
Oh, is she like current? Is she modern?
She's still alive, and I think she's still like she does writing.
Oh. I just had the sense from that was like an old like long dead person or whatever. Okay.
No, she's still around.
Okay.
And I think she's kind of one of those feminists that like maybe like you're more like J.K. Rowling feminist will like look at. It's like, see, no, she's still like a feminist, but then also like has the same hangups about other groups that I do. So she's like my favorite feminist, like that kind of thing. And so I don't know. I thought maybe Carrie Elwes was just going to be like, I'm just teaching the curriculum. Like I'm teaching like the classics. Like, are we supposed to not read the classics? Like that kind of thing. But then it's like, no, he's also like a cloak and dagger, like cultist as well.
Yeah. It really, like, it's unlike the one before where you're like, oh, they take Billy and they ruin him, blah, blah. It's like, it's hard to, like, it's hard to even compare this to those because of how, like, it feels like it doesn't even try to, like, you can't be like, oh, well, it takes a character who holed himself up in an attic and left creepy messages on their phone and then killed these girls one by one. It turns that into a, like, decades long cult that's like has like dozens of members, and they're like they're like, I'm referencing the other Zach Kreger movie. They're like weaponsing like frat boys turning like, because they're like we had her take items from you so they would know who to go after. That's exactly how they work in weapons.
Yeah,
they
that's
like
true.
she like takes something of theirs and
the altar of dildos and diva cups.
yeah. Yeah, I love that they had a little flashback to that. Oh, where are my diva cups? Like, yeah, I get it. Yeah.
That's like the first scene in the movie is her just like, oh, here it is, and then she just goes and shoves it in her pants.
Her like slowly like I'm like, okay. Yeah, that was weird.
I have a final in 10 minutes and I can't find my diva cup.
How do you lose a diva cup?
With abandon.
Yeah, and it like the like bust of the guy, the founder of the college,
Cornelius Hawthorne or whatever.
Wait, is that his name?
No, it's not.
Okay, I was gonna say, because it is Hawthorne, and I was like, no, that's Pierce's dad. That'd be awesome.
I mean, it's essentially like the same sort of ethos, you could argue.
Yeah,
women belong in the kitchen, like.
Yeah, I want to, like, more so than like Billy's backstory. I'm like, I want to know how like misogynist this guy was that he turned into like a demon that like feeds all of these frat boys and turns them into zombies.
Was the term incel a thing in 2019? I think it was.
I think so. Yeah, I don't think it's.
But
that
I don't
recent,
think it was like as broadly used as it is now. Like now, I feel like you could see incel as like a Jeopardy clue. But like I think maybe
sure.
I think maybe in like 2019 it was like a thing, but you had to be really online to know about it. And then COVID happened, so everyone had to be really online because that was the only thing that you could do. And so like all of that type of shit like exploded. It is really funny that like, I would say that like a lot of the politics from this movie, the sort of, again, the one main character that is like the campus crusader, or like ending the hetero cis normative patriarchy. It is funny how like quaint and silly a lot of that stuff sounds now, where I think that brand of like progressivism and like feminism is like, there's still people that I guess talk like that, but I would say largely I think that kind of stuff is like has been left behind because like income inequality is such like a huge issue that no one's like the patriarchy. Like it's not the patriarchy. It's like the oligarchy, right? Like that's the whole idea. It is very funny watching this and like seeing those politics. It's like, oh yes, I remember, again, pre-COVID. I feel like this is like very like a pre-COVID movie. And I'm like, I'm almost watching it as like, is this, are they trying to be ironic? Is this meant to be like satirical? But no. So I'm reading, again, part of the IMDb trivia. The first Black Christmas film to be rated PG-13, both the 1974 original and 2006 remake were R-rated. About 30 minutes of footage was supposedly excised to achieve the PG-13 rating after test screenings, as to call wanted the film to be more marketable to young girls interested in the horror genre. And then apparently Imogen Poots also said that like she took the role because she was excited to be like on a primarily like female shoot with female like tech crews and everything. So it's like, I don't think that there is like a shred of like self-awareness or irony in any of like that dialogue.
I don't think so.
And it's just like, I cannot take it sincerely whatsoever. It's so bad and cringe.
Yeah, that would have changed everything if the Chris character got, if you know, like something happened eventually. I'm not saying that like she necessarily had to, as the character that she is in the movie now, yeah, she needs to die. But like, if something had happened where that had kind of like made it more obvious that like, okay, this is an extreme example and she's being like silly, you know, put her in her place, basically, is what I'm saying.
Or at the very least, like, I don't even know, maybe like, I guess they do kind of, no, they don't get saved by a man because Landon immediately gets like brainwashed into like the cult. But it's like, oh,
so at least they're not racist, you know.
Yeah. They're like, you are one of our brothers too.
Yeah, so they're kind of based.
They're yeah, these are like the proto Groypers.
Yeah. Oh my god, I think that's with him. I laughed out. I love the line. I think that's that part. And he's like, "Oh, what's going on?" And they say,
"Got a headache, bro?" That's just the founder drawing out your true alpha.
Yes,
it's a great line.
Now this guy, his name's Pepe, and he's based. Oh man, and then it's just like they're all like TPUSA guys, like, and Charlie Kirk shows up.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess another element that they do, because like, okay, I'm glad we're talking about this, because again, with the 1974 Black Christmas, you could argue that there are feminist undertones in that movie. Like in our discussion, we talked about like the whole abortion thing and like her making the choice of terminating the pregnancy, like regardless of what he wants to do, because she's like, it's my body, it's my choice. I'm letting you know as a courtesy, but I want to do this. And there's conflict that happens as a result of that. And like they kind of deal with it, and it's like done in like this kind of mature way in the context of a horror movie. And then this movie has like none of that, or it's done in such a way that like we read it as like irony or cringe or insincerity.
Yeah, it's like somebody did that. They're like, okay, I'm gonna change stuff. I'm gonna change like a lot of the story, and also I'm a freshman in high school. That's how this was written.
I'm like taking my first gender studies class, and I'm like, I'm gonna write a script. Nailed it.
Yeah, like oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, at least they have the incompetent cop, or like the cop that like doesn't believe them.
Oh yeah.
That's like one of the crossovers.
Yeah. Yeah, there were some awful dialogue in this. But before I get to that, there was one more line that I did really like, and it was when I think it's when they were like before the final brouhaha happens, and they're like saying, "Oh, if you submit, we'll leave you. Any women who submit to us can be one of our our slaves or whatever. We won't kill you." And then he's like, "Go ahead, your body, your choice." Like, that's good. That's cold.
See, that's the thing, is like when you make all of like the annoying liberal feminist characters annoying, and then all of like the dudes get to be like, we're unleashing your true alpha and your body, your choice. Like you give them all these like really funny, but also like hard zingers. It's like, who am I supposed to root for here? Because those guys are at least funny.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And but then the bad dialogue that just highlighting how like childishly like progressive this is trying to be or whatever is like the repeated correction of when they say, oh, the girls from Moo Kappa blah blah blah, and they're like women, and then like I think even one of them says it like when they're just like at their sorority house, they're like like it's not, they're just like, come on girls, let's go, and she's like women. It's like this person would be friends with nobody if she was correcting them when they're just like talking in you know just casually amongst each other,
eggshells about like what you could say or not say.
Yeah.
Again, imagine this movie like because I'm trying to think when, because it's I'm trying to say this in like I guess a woke way or like a progressive way, but it's like whenever like the non-binary thing started happening, because like I know there's probably people that have been non-binary for a while, but it took a while for like I guess the idea to catch on, and then people started like, oh, I feel this way, so like I use like gender neutral pronouns, like that's kind of a thing. If that had been like a cultural lightning rod at the time that this movie was made, that character could have been even more annoying. Just like, like, I mean, literally like the, did you just assume my gender jokes? Like they would have, that would have been in this movie in a sincere way. Yeah. Like, I feel like this movie is like so annoying with its like feminist politics that it would have like, if it had been more popular, it would have set back like that movement so terribly, because so many people would have correctly identified how annoying like scolds like that are.
Yeah, for real. Like the feminist movement should be grateful that this movie bombed, because it wasn't doing them any favors.
What I would have loved to have, because like the whole cult thing, I was like, that's kind of a weird cop out. I didn't really, it was weird. I would have loved if the soft boy, like male feminist character was like the one who was behind it all. Landon, because he like, I mean, he screams like beta or whatever. Like, he's like, oh, I'm at the coffee shop. Like they didn't even, they could have had him like, oh, can I get a latte extra soy milk? Like he could have been like such a soy boy like type archetype. And then as like the reveal at the end that he was the orchestrator of all of this stuff. And then it's like, oh, there you go. There's the real danger, is like these like serpents in the garden that can adopt the language of progressivism and then like weaponize it against you.
Yeah, I was I mean that thought does kind of come across your mind watching this, like, because I got the like thinking, I'm trying to think of other, there's other like hyper like cringy progressive movies like this. What's the other one I'm trying to think of? Maybe I'm thinking of like the Ghostbusters one, maybe.
Oh.
Or I think I'm thinking of something else.
My first thought was Booksmart, that movie with Caitlin Dever.
Yep. Yeah, that one's kind of cringy too, yeah. But no, I'm thinking of some, but whatever it is, it's like every man in it is bad. And it's like the only real reason being is like, they're a man. So that's kind of what I was thinking. I was like, oh, well, yeah, he is. So yeah, obviously he's going to be a bad guy. Or like the one girl's boyfriend, who starts out as like, he like films their show, and he's very like supportive and all that. And then he all of a sudden is like really hostile and like getting into fights with her. And then that was when I was like, oh yeah, because there's some weird like mind control thing or whatever going, like
just ringing, and he's like, he has a migraine.
Yeah, and I'm like, but is that what it is? Because I don't know if he is mind controlled. So is that just the movie being like, yeah, all men are assholes, so he's just fighting because he's an asshole? Because then there's like, it's weird because then they throw down the bust of the founder guy. And which is another just a terrible line where just, oh my god, like just fucking rip my eardrums out. Terrible writing. Like where I think it's Carrie Elwes is like, don't, if you break that, then you ruin us, but you only break yourselves too. And then she says, we will never be broken. And then she throws it down. But anyways, then there's still dudes like trying to kill them. I'm like, I don't get it. Like, so some of them it's mind control, but a good portion of them are just all evil too.
So then why did you even need to mind control them?
Yeah, like that's what I don't get the,
unless it made them like super soldiers, like hyper, like they
maybe
like it's like, oh, let me smell this diva cup. Okay, let me go get
yeah, like bloodhounds like
he's like he's got the dildo and he's and then he's like, oh, what's up, boy? Did you pick up the scent? And he's like, he goes out.
Yeah,
because it's like, it worked on it. Landon, he got hypnotized. He put like the inky black triangle on his
that's
forehead.
What I mean. Yeah,
and then he like
and then
kind of
there's like the
snaps out of it.
pledges that they were doing that too.
Yeah, that whole like they're compelled by. Like they're compelled by like the bust of the statue doesn't really work if you destroy that statue and then they're still just like, well, I'm going to kill you anyway because like I hate women. Like you would have had to have had some of them like snap out of it like, oh, whoa, that was crazy. What's going on? Why are we fighting? Like what's happening here? But no, instead they're all like still fighting. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I think it's like just Landon is the only one that snaps out of it or whatever. And then I don't even remember. Do they kill Carrie Elwes or they
light him on fire?
They light him on fire. Okay.
They can't even commit to like. I know it's PG-13, but that's when Chris picks up like this oil lantern, and he's like, hey, Professor Gelson, suck my, and then she doesn't say dick, and then she throws it at him, and like he gets set on fire. And then like they run out of and then they like barricade the door, so like everyone inside like basically burns to death. Which is like cool. We broke the spell only to like mass execute all of you. which some of them may have been innocent if you look at it that way. Because who's to say that another one of them wasn't another Landon who was just taken in there against his will and and I did note that because there was 3 instances where I noticed that where she goes suck my, and then the part where they're doing the song they go, you slip me a ruffian, then you're and then it like everybody like yell or roars or whatever. And I was like, are my pissy like misogynist lens that I look at this now through is I'm like, are they not using the word dick because it's like a trigger word or something like that? Oh, because it's phallic and therefore represents the patriarchy, so we can't have it in there. Because is dick one of those words that like will get your shit rated R?
No, not at all. No. No, it's really just like, I mean, obviously fuck is the big one. And then maybe there's like a certain amount of like shits but no, I feel like dick is a more minor. Minor offense. I don't know. Do they know that like a man wrote and directed the original movie? Maybe that's why they changed it so much. They're like, yeah, we'll use the title, but we're not going to keep anything else because that was written by a man. And I don't know.
Which is funny because the original like does laps around this one in terms of a realistic representation of like issues that women face.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Yeah, it is. And especially considering it's 50 years older too.
Yep.
Like,
I think maybe one of the main identifiers for like the problems with this movie happened within the the first like 30 seconds, which you see the Bloomhouse logo show up.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. True.
I don't know. Bloomhouse is probably, I mean, I guess they produced like Get Out, which I like Get Out. I think that's generally regarded as like a pretty good movie. But like Bloomhouse,
I think everybody has some happy accidents, though. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think generally Bloomhouse is not great.
Yeah, you'll always know the two good movies that Bloomhouse made because they will put them on like the poster for every single other Bloomhouse movie ever.
Yeah.
Like it'll be a movie that'll come out in like 2025 and it'll still say
Get
like
Out.
from the studio that brought you Get Out, and that was like literally a decade ago.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. All right. They were on a tear early on. This looks like they had a lot of good early stuff. Or at least like hits, like big hits. Paranormal Activity, Insidious, Sinister, The Purge, Split, Get Out, Happy Death Day, which is pretty well liked. The Halloween, up and down. And then yeah, more lately, Black Phone. People like the Black Phone.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
and they
produced
did Whiplash and
What?
Black Klansman. Yeah. So
That's
I mean,
crazy.
those are great. Not horror movies, but those are both great.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, is that like the Dwayne Johnson Tooth Fairy? That'd be crazy. They did the Dwayne Johnson Tooth Fairy movie. That's crazy. Lawless. I like that movie. Yeah, so you know.
Oh, what else? I don't remember what else I got. Oh, no, I got a little misogynistic too near the end when
Okay.
they kill one of the masked guys and then they agonizingly don't take the mask off. That would be the first thing that I would do, to be like, who the hell like are these people? Because it's like so the first one that they kill, she's about to. Imogen Poots moves at like 0.5 speed compared to everybody else in this movie.
Yeah.
She walks around agonizingly slow and just like lip trembles at every single thing.
Yeah.
Because like when I think one of the masked guys, she like kills with the car keys through the jugular. And then she like does one of those things where she's like about to like reach the mask and she's doing it so slow. And then another masked figure shows up and they run away. And I was like, take off the mask, you dumb bimbos. Like I was like shouting at the TV. No, but literally like Chloe watched this with me. And when the Chris character was going on her like feminist rant, Chloe was like, oh, is this that movie about your one friend who's too woke? I was like, okay, well,
Yeah,
you said
pretty
it, not me.
Yeah. I know they do take off a mask. And because they take him off and his face is all pale and they're like, oh, that's that I saw him. He was that pledge from the other day. And it does like a little flashback to when she like walked in on them.
Yeah, yeah.
And they were doing that. So I wonder if the idea is that like they took off one mask and then they just figured like, oh, we're not going to know who any of these guys are. So what's the point in taking off any of their masks?
Yeah, it's like,
we tried it once. That's good enough.
You would think that they were all like their classmates.
Yeah.
They would know.
Yeah, like, you'd probably, and they do. Like, they're like, oh, those are the guys from that fraternity. And it's like, oh, wouldn't it be nice if you, like, identified more of the attackers? Then maybe you would have a better idea and you wouldn't have to, like, wait until the last minute to find this out.
I just kept
sorry,
like,
are we mansplaining the strategy?
I just kept thinking of like modern like topics that this movie would like cover if it came out today. And at the end, I was just imagining like Carrie Elwes talking to like, you know, monologuing at the end before he kills everyone. And he's just like, you know, there's a male loneliness epidemic. Like, he would just start, you know, or
that would be
he'd
sick.
be like watching Nick Fuentes clips on like TikTok.
Yeah.
Or like Tucker videos or whatever.
That'd be awesome. It would have been sweet too if they actually were if they did bring in like Charlie Kirk into this somehow.
Oh yeah. This would 100% be a TPUSA or like a Angel Studios movie.
Yeah. You know why they didn't though? It's because nobody fucking gave a shit about him until he was killed. So
that's kind of true. That's very true.
I got more examples of bad dialogue.
Yeah, hit me with them.
How about after they do their show, and they're like running out, and Imogen Poots has that very forced.
Maybe that was Brian Huntley not to rape another girl.
Like, just I was thinking of that. It's just like that happened, and it's funny because I've seen this movie before, but it was like, God, you just the hatred was so new, and like I didn't like this movie the first time, but it's like it was watching it for the first time in that where like she says that line, and I was like, ugh, like zapped. My eyes like flashed for a second. I was like, oh, what the fuck was that? Because I was like thinking like just on so many levels how stupid that line is. Where like I always try to think of like, or I don't always, but I like sometimes I'll hear a line and I'll just instantly think like, that's not realistic. Like, imagine just saying that to someone like as you're, we're running out of this thing, and I'm gonna like a lot of times people use characters' full names in sentences where it's like if that was somebody you and I knew, and I was like, oh, that'll show him, right? That's what you would say. Or if you're gonna have to have that line, you would say like, oh, that's gonna show him, right? Or you would say that'll show Brian, right? I wouldn't say to you, my friend, referring to somebody else that we know, that'll show Brian Huntley, that person that we know, like, and like to rape another girl. I'm like, yeah, sure, because that's how this movie thinks that this stuff works. It's like because they did this song and they didn't even name names or anything. They didn't point. I was like, I thought at the end maybe they like said and you, and they like all like in unison point at him or something, but they don't even do that. And they're like, yeah, that'll show him not to do that again. Like, that's how this movie thinks that this works. It's like, oh, we're going to show this to like all the men in the country. And just from the mere power of watching this movie, they're all going to like realize the error of their ways. So
yeah, they got 50,000 views on YouTube. So like, that's enough to do it.
Yeah, because of course they did. Of course, anything that characters in movies, if they make a YouTube video, it's gonna get 1 million hits eventually.
Oh yeah, instantly. Of course.
Yeah, because that's how it works. If you put something out on the internet, everybody sees it. That's yeah, that's how it works.
If you do 200 episodes of a podcast, everybody's gonna listen to it eventually.
You're gonna have at least 200 views. So
yeah. Yeah, also, God, that song was so uncomfortable to listen to.
Yeah.
Also, so okay. Did they know that Brian was going to show up? Because they seemed surprised that he was there. But also, it seems like that song like anticipated him being there, assuming he was going to be there.
Right.
And then Imogen Poots, who is like the victim, wasn't even going to be one of the original members to sing the song.
But then Chris forced her to when she had such a legitimate reason to not like. It makes sense that she would not want to do that.
Yeah.
Like, especially if the guy was there. Like, I get it's trying to be like, oh, well, you're standing up and you're showing that you're not afraid. But it's like, but
that's not your decision to make for somebody else. That's not your fucking
decision. Yeah, exactly. And sometimes. Maybe it's just too hard for her. That's okay too. It's okay if she doesn't want to.
Yeah.
It's not a problem that she needs to like. It's not like she has to do this or she's wrong or she's she needs to overcome it. Maybe she just doesn't want to do it. You know?
Yeah, and you wish that like the movie would end with maybe Chris like learning that that's not the right way to like get people to like join your cause or like be sympathetic to your views, but instead she gets to say "suck my dick" and light a room full of men on fire. So it's like,
Yeah.
oh, her like worldview is just like affirmed, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what makes it like more infuriating, is because it's like you were kind of saying with the IMDb trivia, that there's no irony, they're just like always constantly completely validated in like everything they say. And it's like it makes it feel like a fantasy because of how ridiculous it is, because of how silly the writing is. It's, again, it feels like it was written by a conservative making this feels like a mockery of what it's trying to promote or whatever.
She's like literally in a hipster coffee shop talking about like she doesn't say cis, because I feel like that wasn't like a hot button issue at the time. So like she doesn't say like cis hetero, but she like literally is just like hitting every single buzzword in a hipster coffee shop. And it's like, that's like a Ben Shapiro anecdote.
Yeah.
You know, or who do you remember Jacob Wohl? Do you remember that guy at all? He was one of those like conservative provocateur guys who would like find somebody who would like claim to have like sucked Obama's dick. And he would like hold these press conferences. He was like an insane attention seeking person. That's awesome. So Jacob Wohl was one of those guys who
Wohl.
WOHL, I believe is how his name is spelled. I don't think I think he recently tried to get someone to say, oh God, either about Kamala Harris or like Elizabeth Warren, but he'll just find these randos who will be like, yeah, in 1996, Kamala Harris did this. Yeah. But when he was on Twitter, he would do these types of tweets where he would say stuff like, so I was in a hipster coffee shop in Brooklyn, and everyone was actually saying about how much they loved Trump. And if you went to his Twitter profile and like did like Control F for hipster coffee shop, he would tweet like 20 times over and over, just like the same anecdote where like I was at a hipster coffee shop and actually they were saying that they loved the 10 Commandments or like weird shit like that.
Okay.
And it's like, that's what that made me
just
think
change
of. Is
like 2 words or whatever. And okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But like feminist hipster coffee shop. The 2006 Black Christmas just made me sad because it was just like a really bad retelling of the first one. But 2019 Black Christmas just made me mad. It was just like a very angry, frustrating experience.
Glad, sad, mad. That's the
that's the trajectory.
Yeah, this one is like it's and maybe why in retrospect I think on this my second viewing I had a better time with the 2006 one is because like in relative to this one it's so much better. Like if you do the like this is to this as this is to this, it's like the 2006 one is like a downgrade from the 74 one, and then this is like as much of a downgrade from that one.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it does that one as dirty as that one does to the original.
Yeah,
to where you like going back to that one, I was like, yeah, you know, like I said, at least it's like it's very Christmassy. It's the you know, I'll take thin characters with like the over the top gore and just cartoony villains and really sticking to the Christmas theme. I'll take that over this, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, if I had to, like I could almost see putting on that 2006 one again at some point, you know, especially if it was like with friends. Like I said, you know, it might work for something like that, but like no way with this one.
No. Unless it's like to laugh at the like overly buzzwordy progressive feminist characters, which
maybe
feels
but,
weird because
like,
it's like it's one of those things where like I understand the things that you're saying and I would largely probably agree with you with a lot of them, but like the way that you're conveying your message is annoying as shit.
Yeah. And like, yeah, there is stuff to laugh at, like some of those lines I was talking about. And just like, yeah, how stupid the movie is. But I feel like I just get like it's the level of anger I have would not be worth, or you know what I mean? Like it would outweigh any sort of like ironic enjoyment or what have you.
Yeah, we would start riffing and then we would just get like really angry and mean and probably say some stuff that we don't really like we wouldn't stand by or agree with.
Yeah, like kind of me in this
Yeah.
I'm kind of playing into the whole like misogynist role or whatever, but it really does like it does itself no favors by like how it's written. Somebody in this world loves like you pick any movie and there's going to be somebody who's like Dragon Ball Evolution. It's like, actually, like I really like that one though because of like this stuff. I wonder who that person is for this one. I feel like whoever it is like a Chris, somebody who is unironically like that, like correcting everybody on every little thing they say and but you know, maybe they're out there. And if not, if they are just like more of like a normal person, I'm like, because like what else is there to like about this? There's no fun horror. The horror is really lame and tame. The kills are basically non-existent. Like the one that you mentioned that was like maybe the Exorcist reference. That's like the only kind of like memorable moment regarding the horror. Everything else is just like somebody somewhere and then they see somebody and they scream and there's a jump scare.
They walk slowly and menacingly and draw an arrow and then try to shoot him with an arrow.
Yeah, and there's nothing, like the characters don't have chemistry, so like you can't really like you can't connect with anybody other than the frustration. They're just so like empty, and I don't believe that they're friends, especially with Chris. Like who the fuck would be friends with that girl in real life?
It's one of those movies that I feel like is a reflection of a very specific time in like I guess like American like politics or like social justice discourse. Because I saw someone on Letterboxd refer to this movie as like the Brett Kavanaugh movie, and because I was like, oh yeah, because that was like his whole confirmation hearing was about him being like a drunk frat boy and like sexually assaulting somebody. And it's like, that is for the person whose politics have been stuck in 2019. So I guess you're like your average normie lib. I feel like a lot of like your average normie libs are still sort of like stuck in 2016, whereas like they'll like share a picture of Trump and Putin kissing or something like that, or they'll be like, we would be a brunch right now if it weren't for the Russians meddling in the election. Like that type of person. I think maybe that's who this movie appeals to. And like for those people that are still stuck in that like frame of mind for like politics, maybe they would still get some enjoyment out of this. But it's like the rest of us have moved on beyond this stuff. And it's pretty, in retrospect, it's like looking back, it's like, man, that was like so cringe to believe in, you know? As like, if you can't look back at like some of your beliefs like that, maybe when you were younger and you were like maybe more passionate about, feminism and progressive stuff, but you didn't really, have a way to articulate it in a way that was like trying to get people to join the cause as opposed to like pushing people away from it.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't look back on that shit and be like, oh, like no self-awareness whatsoever, like, yeah, I can't do that. It's like, it's like a reflection of like that time period, and it's so bad.
Yeah. It feels like these movements or what have you have kind of got like a more stable like footing or like understanding how to present themselves, and like you said, like not necessarily like push away, but like, and just act like, I don't know. But then you have the flip side where people are like being too nice to like conservative freaks. And it's like, well, no, not that either.
No. There's like it's like a meme from Pulp Fiction. It's like the scene where it's like the early scene when Vincent and when Samuel L. Jackson and John Travolta like say what one more time, like that scene.
Yeah.
There's like a meme where it's like, whenever I'm like making fun of liberals and like a Republican chimes in, and it's like he's like, I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing. And it's like, that's kind of how I feel, where it's like, hey, I'm making fun of this lib because I'm like to the left of them, not because it's just like, you and I are not the same.
Yeah, and that is 100% how this feels, is like totally libbed up, but like the type that would, like you referenced earlier, like voted for Hillary Clinton because she's a woman and she's running as a Democrat, so she's the ultimate choice. There's nobody more left. There's no better choice. Just like total like establishment like Democrats, like dweebs.
Healthcare, Medicare for all. What do you want next? A unicorn? I offer pragmatic solutions. None of those pie in the sky ideas. Yeah, real winning message there.
Yeah.
Pragmatic realism.
And Israel has a right to defend itself.
Dude, she's still on that shit too.
Who?
Hillary Clinton. She did like a talk.
Yeah.
She did like some talk within the last few weeks.
I wasn't even
where
thinking
she
about
said
that, but I saw that.
She said that like kids these days are like just being like brainwashed by TikTok, and they don't like you only care about like the countless videos of like Palestinians being like droned and killed because TikTok told you so. That's the only reason, because you saw it on TikTok.
It's like, you have crazy. Like,
you have
read
so
the
much
fucking
money.
room, you crone.
Just go away forever.
Yeah.
Your husband was on like the little St. James Lolita Express. Like, what are you talking about? I would not be I would retire from public life forever. You got beaten by the dumbest person on the planet to be president. Go away forever. Like,
yeah, there is no point for her to still be a thing now. Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about that when I referenced that, but just embarrassing. Just embarrassing. Just in general, like the Democratic like party is just embarrassing. That's a good example of like a conservative like chiming in, and you're like when like, oh yeah, well Bill's on the flight logs too. It's like, good, okay, good. Send him to prison too. Like,
yeah, no, for real. Like,
fucking bet. Like, you think I give a fucking shit about Bill Clinton?
No, I do not.
You also shouldn't give a shit about Bill Clinton at this point. But yes, if he was involved with that, he should also go to prison, as should everybody else. But they try to like score. They think that they're like scoring points by like, oh, well, you got some guys over there too. It's like, that's not my guy. That's not our guys.
Yeah, precisely.
we gotta make Black Christmas 20. We'll say 2026. I don't think we're gonna be able to make a movie in 3 weeks and get it out into theaters. Black Christmas 2026, but it's boys this time. It's boys' night, and they're stalked by a trans woman.
Oh, well, they're doing sleepaway camp. They're doing a sleepaway camp thing, so we could kind of,
mix them together.
Angela.
Yeah.
Did you see they did it like another gender swapped thing in this one where I think it's Imogen Poots, like at one point, like to stop one of the masked killers, she does the bag thing on him.
Oh yeah.
I was oh, they're like reclaiming it.
Yeah, there's the thing. Yeah, the cat was pretty. That's like pretty when it comes to movies like this, I'm like that's a cool cat. There's little mid credits. I can't believe I sat through the whole fucking credits because they do a reprise of that stupid song.
They do like a studio version of the song.
Yeah, fucking jackasses. But then there's a little like mid credits thing where the cat is like, I think it's like licking. There's like a pool of like blood like from like in their house like from where they killed one of the guys, and it's like lapping it up, and then it like looks at the camera or whatever. I'm like, that's a cute cat. So
yeah, it's pretty good.
It's got something going for it, I guess.
Yep. It's like the one character in this movie I can relate to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did we review it? Did we do our scores? I guess we didn't. We kind of. Yeah,
really.
It's a dud. It's a capital D dud.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the only Spud-like qualities would be like watching it with the intent of like making fun of its over the top annoying politics and like attempt at social commentary. That would be the only like entertainment value I think I could derive out of this.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean if it needs to be said, it's a dud. There was absolutely no like waffling on this as opposed to the 2006 one where I was like, there's like some like, you could maybe watch it. Could almost be a Spud or whatever. I feel like me thinking of like if I were to watch this with friends, it would be with the same like intent as if I was showing some friends inappropriate comedy, where the whole point would just be me like watching their faces like twist in like discomfort and awkwardness, because it kind of gives me the same feeling watching Chris like drone on about the stupid fucking talking points. It's the same energy as The Amazing Racist, even though it's like obviously the complete opposite sort of thing. It's kind of like it feels like the same thing in my mind.
Hey, you see that Vincent Offer is like running for an office? I think it's either Congress or something.
I haven't rechecked on the Dud Cup list, but I feel like I could say without checking that this is like near the bottom of our list as far just I don't know. It might be like an easier watch than something like Suicide Squad or
like Movie 43.
No, I definitely like Movie 43 more than this. 100%.
Yeah, okay.
Because at least there were like some jokes that kind of worked. I think there were some skits that almost worked. There's some really hard
Hugh
to sit through
Jackman with the
parts
nutsack.
That was kind of funny. Yeah, that was an okay start. Yeah.
Dipping his nutsack in the soup.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it and laughing, so I guess that's more than like what this movie has going for it.
Yeah. No, that's one of those where I'm like, it's definitely not good, but it's not the worst movie of all time. Yeah. But yeah, like this might be like easier. I don't know, because like the ones that I'm thinking of as the worst are like the ones where I just watch and I can't pay attention because it's so just like badly edited or structured or whatever. Like again, like Suicide Squad or Alone in the Dark was particularly bad too.
Oh, I haven't thought about that movie in a long time.
But this one pisses me off so much that I feel like that's kind of what like puts it below those. A little more watchable than an Uwe Boll movie. Maybe that's like the highest praise I can give it, but more irritating. All right, well, we got a little interim. Before, because we got one more.
The night before Duds Miss, our 200th episode.
And that movie that we will be watching is from 1999, directed by James Maradino, SLC Punk, which I haven't seen before, but I've really been interested.
That's a Matthew Lillard.
It is, yeah.
Oh.
I've heard a lot of good things.
Yeah,
it's one of those that I always remember seeing like at the video store, and it just kind of looked like it always looked dumb to me, but I've just heard over the years that it's kind of a cult favorite, cult classic. So
yep, Devon Sawa's in it of the Fanatic fame.
Oh yeah. Yeah, cool. I wanted to see that one for a while. It's a good one.
Yeah.
Cool. So, watch SLC Punk before the next episode if you don't want to be spoiled for it. These episodes come out on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. EST on YouTube in video form, as well as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. In audio form, we also have social pages on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Once more, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. This will be our last one before the year's over. Thanks again to all the 2 dozen fans we have. Maybe be a little sarcastic, but again, if you listen,
if you actually listen to the show and enjoy it, like I do appreciate you, because like I like making the show because like this is like a great avenue to like just talk about movies and see stuff that I've like wanted to see, but it's like giving
Black
myself
Christmas
homework.
2019.
Yeah, exactly. It's been on the top of my list for so long, but I like having like due dates for things. It's like, well, we have to record on this day, so that means I have to watch this movie before that, and that will like get me to watch a movie instead of just, if left to my own devices, I'll be like, oh, maybe I'll watch it tomorrow and I'll put it off. But this is like a good way to get me to watch it. And so it's like I have my own like reasons for doing the show, but if you like listening to it, like awesome. I love that. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. And so with all that said, suck my dick. We'll see if that gets picked up. I'm TJ, and with me as always.
As always. Man, I don't really even. You bimbos are being hysterical. I don't know. That's what Kyle said at one point. Like when he was like, no, not Kyle, the other boyfriend. When they were arguing, he's just like, yeah, 2019. He's like, you're being hysterical, and they slammed the door on him. Yeah, that's being hysterical.
Yeah,
and I am Nick.
And
base department
house.